Good sunny Florida morning. Welcome back to the channel, A Day with Roger. And if you're new here, my name's Roger, and what we post is stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis. This video is a couple of days after I built this shed door. You can go back and check that one out, but we're going to take this door off the hinges today, the shaker style door, and we're going to paint it and we're going to finish it and put it back up on the shed. So stay tuned. I want to share something with you that I think a lot of people would appreciate. If you're a do-it-yourselfer or even a contractor, a good set of sawhorses is something that's great to have. The problem with building a solid big set of sawhorses out of 2x4s or 2x6s is they take up a lot of space. I found a solution a few years ago and I really like it. What I did was I found a pair of spring hinges and I put them on these sawhorses, and they store away nice and small. Easy to stack 4 or 5 sets in the space that it would take one full set. And just spring them out and you set them up. So they're really great, and I suggest that you need a set of sawhorses, you take the time to build these. They will pay for themselves over and over again. I also want to share the type of paint and caulk that I'm going to use on this project. I'm going to use the Sherwin-Williams Rain Refresh Enamel, which is $100 a gallon retail, but you'll never regret using good paint. And if you think paint's expensive, just price it at a gallon of nail polish, and at $4,000 or $5,000 a gallon, paint will seem cheap. The other thing I'm going to use is and I'm not a sponsor of Sherwin-Williams, but I really like their products. They've been around for a long time, and for Florida, they're well tested. I'm going to use a Sherwin-Williams Sheer Max, the top of the line caulk, for caulking in the edges of this door. Okay, so let's get to painting. Well, I got the door off the hinges, and I've got it set up on my sawhorses that I showed you just a few minutes ago. And I've got the bottom of the old door when I told you that the chem caulk held up, but the door didn't. It was actually made out of 2 sheets of 3/4 and 1 sheet a 1/2 inch to make the thickness that I wanted so that the hinges would work. On this door it's 1.5 inches, but the hinges still work. The door sits a little further back, but the door swings in and out. No problem. I got my paint. I got a little bit of this rotted door on the door that I'm going to knock off, and I'm going to put a coat of paint on it and caulk this edge. So I call it a shaker door. I lap these 2x4s, I mortise them out and I lap them, and then I took and plowed out 3/4 of an inch all the way around by 1 inch thick, and then I cut the plywood to fit inside there, and I caulked it and screwed it. So pretty solid door, should last. Handy dandy paint opener, paint key. All right, I'm going to show you a little trick on how to put a lid back on, and when there's just a little bit of paint in that edge, that it doesn't go splattering everywhere. So to keep that little bit of paint from splattering everywhere, you put your lid back on, you cover it with a cloth of any kind, whatever you want. And then when you hammer that in there, that paint won't go all over the place. It's always nice to keep your paint can nice and clean, especially if you spill it on the instructions. You want to keep that clean. You might refer back to it later. All right, so let's paint this door. I'm a terrible painter. I'm a great carpenter, master builder, but terrible painter. A good painter only gets paint where he's supposed to paint and not all over himself. And you know, paint's contagious. Touch it here, then here, then here, then here, and then everywhere. So I'm going to try to do the best I can. So I mentioned when you pour the paint out that you want to make sure it's clean so you can read the instructions if you need to later on. And I didn't read the instructions on this paint before I started, but this enamel rain refresh is considered a self primer. First coat acts as a primer, so I did the right thing there, not knowing. And my repaint is within 48 hours. So I'm going to leave this door here for overnight, 24 hours. It's still morning, so tomorrow morning I'll get another coat of paint on it and rehang it, and I'll put that in the video. So we're on phase 3 of our shed door replacement project. We have the door built on phase 1. We got our primer installed on phase 2. Now we're going to caulk it and put the finished coat of paint on it and get it hung. So I think I'm going to try to see if I can get time-elapse to work, and I'll just do a time-elapse of the paint job, and we'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so I hope that time-elapse worked out. Saw me paint the one side. I did make new casing for the door on the exterior, and I need to put another coat of paint on those. And I need to flip this over when it dries and just put a quick coat on the back. Anyways, I'll film that, and it's going to be a wrap after I put the door back up and give you a final picture of that. So we're moving along. It's just another day. So the shed door is done. It's painted. Well, it's primed, it's painted, it's caulked in, it's rehung, and I'm pretty happy with the results. The paint turned out really nice. It's great quality paint. That's Emerald Rain Refresh Sherwin-Williams, and I caulked the seams again one more time just to make sure that make sure rain can't get in there. And I reinstalled the old hardware because it really doesn't matter, and it's done. So if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and leave any comments you have in the comment section. And I'll see you on the next one. And Happy New Year, and I wish you all the best for 2026, because I'm shooting this on December 30th, and tomorrow night is New Year's Eve, so I wish everybody the best. Thanks a lot for watching.